Welcome to this movie story. As you lay back, let your mind drift. Sit back, relax, and enjoy every scene of this film as you slowly fall asleep. Close your eyes and imagine a world far in the future. A world scarred by a great war, long forgotten by time. 300 years have passed since the end of the World War, a war so catastrophic that it nearly ended all of humanity. The earth bears deep wounds, cities reduced to bones of steel and stone, forests burned into hollow wastelands, oceans polluted beyond recognition. What remains of civilization now clings to life like embers in the wind, scattered and fragile. High above the ground floats Sky City, a shimmering paradise where the elite live in peace, while the people below struggle in a world of shadows. From the depths of this world's discarded trash, a mysterious girl, part human, part machine, is found. Her name will soon be Alita. And this is her journey of discovery, love, and courage. So, breathe deeply. Allow my voice to guide you through the story. Scene by scene, moment by moment, let this tale carry you into dreams. The story begins not with life, but with silence. An endless silence that wraps around a world scarred by 3 centuries of ruin. It has been 300 years since the last World War, a war so catastrophic that it nearly ended all of humanity. The earth bears deep wounds, cities reduced to bones of steel and stone, forests burned into hollow wastelands, oceans polluted beyond recognition. What remains of civilization now clings to life like embers in the wind, scattered and fragile. High above the ground floats Sky City, a shimmering paradise where the elite live in peace, while the people below struggle in a world of shadows. From the depths of this world's discarded trash, a mysterious girl, part human, part machine, is found. Her name will soon be Alita. The people of the lower city call it the Drop Zone, a place of endless junk mountains where scavengers dig for anything they can salvage, anything that might buy them one more day of life. It is in this graveyard of lost things that our story truly begins. Dr. Dyson Ido is a man of quiet strength and quiet sorrow. Once, long ago, he lived in Sky City, a brilliant scientist with dreams that reached beyond the clouds. But that life is gone now. He walks the streets of the lower city, wearing the weight of grief like a shadow, his eyes heavy with memories of what he has lost. His once pristine white lab coat is now marked with grease and dust. He spends his days fixing broken machines and offering medical aid to those who cannot afford Sky City's luxuries. There is a sadness to Ido that no one dares to mention. 3 years ago, his daughter, his bright, beautiful girl, was taken from him in a cruel twist of fate. Her absence has left a wound in his heart that refuses to heal. And though his wife, Chiren, once shared that pain, their grief broke them apart. She returned to the corruption of Sky City, leaving Ido alone in the ruins. Perhaps that is why he often wanders through the Drop Zone, picking through the piles of discarded metal and wreckage. To some, it's just trash. But to Ido, these broken things are a reminder. Even what is thrown away can have a second chance. even a broken heart can be mended. One gray afternoon, with the skies heavy with clouds, Ido's boots crunch over the metallic wreckage in the drop zone. His hands are dirty, but his sharp eyes scan every twisted shard, every glimmer of old circuitry. He crouches beside an ancient scrap heap, its jagged silhouette like the skeleton of a giant machine. And then he sees it. At first, it looks like nothing more than a rusted piece of armor. But as he brushes the dirt away, he sees something else. A face. A girl's face. Half buried beneath a mess of broken wires and scorched metal lies the upper body of a robot, unlike any Ido has ever seen. Its face, though lifeless, has a strange beauty to it, almost human. Its features are delicate, but its frame is crafted from a rare metal that glints faintly beneath the grime. Ido's breath catches in his throat. Carefully, he lifts the head. The eyes are closed, but the design is perfect, almost too perfect. The robot is badly damaged, its lower body is gone, and its arms are broken. But as Ido examines it, his trained hands detect something extraordinary. Her brain core is intact. There is still life in her. "Unbelievable," Ido whispers. You're still alive." For the first time in years, a spark of hope ignites in his chest. He knows instantly that this is no ordinary machine. This is a relic of a time long forgotten, a technology far superior to anything he has ever seen, even in Sky City. Who built her? Where did she come from? None of that matters now. Ido cannot leave her here among the trash. He cradles the broken robot in his arms, as if she were his own child, and begins the long walk back to his home, his mind racing with possibilities. That night, Ido works tirelessly in his workshop. His home is small but warm, filled with the hum of machinery and the soft glow of lamplight. On the work table lies the broken girl, silent and still. Ido studies her for hours, tracing the intricate patterns of her design, marveling at the fusion of machine and human-like structure. Her cybernetic brain is a mystery, one that seems to whisper of a history she herself has forgotten. Ido makes a decision. He will give her a new body. Piece by piece, he begins to reconstruct her. His hands move with care and precision, like an artist sculpting something sacred. He selects parts from his inventory, spare components, reinforced limbs, and begins to craft a body that will match the grace and strength of her design. As he works, he thinks of his daughter. He remembers the way her laughter used to fill their home, how her tiny hands used to hold his. His throat tightens. Perhaps, saving this girl will save a piece of him too. By dawn, the work is complete. The broken robot has become whole again. She is beautiful, with a body sleek and strong, yet graceful, almost human in its movements. But her face, soft, innocent, with delicate features, remains the same. Ido steps back and stares at her, his heart pounding. He cannot help but whisper, "You're ready now." The girl's eyes open. They are wide and golden, glowing faintly as they adjust to the dim light of the room. For a moment, she stares at Ido in confusion, as if waking from a long dream. Her lips part slightly, but no words come out. Ido leans forward, smiling softly. "Easy," he says. "You're safe now." The girl sits up slowly, her movements cautious and uncertain. She looks at her hands, flexing her new fingers, marveling at the sensation of motion. Her gaze then lifts to Ido, full of silent questions. "Who am I?" she asks, finally, her voice soft and trembling, like a child's. Ido's heart clenches. The truth is, he doesn't know who she is. He doesn't know where she came from or why she was in the trash. He hesitates, then shakes his head gently. "I don't know," he admits. "When I found you, your body was broken, but your mind, your brain was still intact. I gave you a new body. You're alive because of that." The girl tilts her head, trying to process this. She touches her chest as if searching for something familiar, but finds nothing. There is a heaviness in her gaze, a sense of loss that she cannot explain. "I don't remember anything," she whispers. "That's all right," Ido says gently. "You don't have to remember everything right now. You're safe here. This is your home now." As the days pass, the girl begins to adjust to her new body and new life. She moves through Ido's home with a quiet curiosity, exploring every corner, touching every object as if trying to understand the world through her fingertips. She asks endless questions about the city, about the sky, about the strange floating structure above them. Ido watches her with growing affection. There is something pure about her, something untainted by the cruelty of the world around them. She smiles at the smallest things, at the sound of music, at the warmth of sunlight streaming through the window. For the first time in years, Ido feels a sense of purpose, a reason to live. One evening, as they sit together in the workshop, the girl turns to him and asks, "What's my name?" Ido pauses. He hadn't thought of that. She needs a name, something that will give her a place in this world, something that will make her more than just a machine. He thinks of his daughter again. "Elita," he says softly. "Your name is Elita." The girl's eyes brighten. "Elita," she repeats, as if testing the sound of it. A smile spreads across her face. "I like it." For Ido, the name carries both pain and hope. His daughter is gone, but Elita, this strange, mysterious girl, feels like a second chance. And so, Elita is born again. The next day, Ido takes Elita to see the city for the first time. The streets are alive with people, merchants selling scraps, children running barefoot through the dirt, hunters carrying weapons. The air is thick with the smell of metal and oil. It is a rough and dangerous place, but to Elita, it is all new and exciting. She stares wide-eyed at everything, her gaze always lifting toward Sky City, hovering above. "What is that?" she asks, pointing. "That," Ido says, "is Sky City. It's the last of the great cities left after the war. The people up there, they live in comfort, far away from this world." "Is it beautiful?" Elita asks. "But this is our world." Ido smiles sadly. "It's different. But this," he says, gesturing to the bustling streets below. The days that follow her awakening are filled with wonder for Elita. Every moment is new, a discovery, a step into a world she has no memory of, but feels drawn to. She watches the sun rise for the first time, its golden light spilling across the rooftops of the lower city, bathing everything in warmth. She watches the bustling markets, where merchants shout over one another to sell scraps of metal and rusted trinkets. She studies the people, humans, cyborgs, and everything in between, each with their own scars and stories. Though she doesn't understand it yet, something stirs deep within her mechanical heart when she sees the world. A longing, a quiet voice that whispers, "I know this. I've been here before." But when she tries to remember, the memories slip through her mind like water through open hands. One afternoon, as Elita explores the streets with an innocent curiosity, she notices someone watching her. He's perched on a rooftop, his silhouette sharp against the afternoon sky. A boy, lean, wiry, and confident. His hair is tousled, and his eyes shine with a mischievous glint that makes him look alive in a way others here don't. When he sees her looking, he grins and jumps down with the grace of someone who spent his life climbing walls and leaping between rooftops. He lands just a few feet away, dust puffing up around his boots. "Hey," he says casually, brushing off his hands. "Haven't seen you around here before. You're new, huh?" Alita studies him, her wide golden eyes curious. "Yes," she says softly. "I woke up here with Dr. Ido." The boy tilts his head. "Ido, the doc. He's a good guy, always fixing broken things." His eyes flicker to her body, sleek, polished metal under a thin layer of synthetic skin. "Wow," he says, genuinely impressed. "You're not just fixed, you're amazing." Alita looks down at herself, unsure how to react. "Thank you," she says shyly. "I'm Hugo," the boy says with a smile that lights up his entire face. "What's your name?" "Alita," she replies. "Alita?" Hugo repeats, as if tasting the word. "That's a nice name. Fits you." For reasons she can't explain, his words make something warm bloom inside her chest. He has a way of looking at her as if she's not a machine, but a person. Something real, something worth seeing. Over the next few days, Hugo and Alita become inseparable. He shows her the hidden corners of the city, the winding alleyways where children play, the rooftops where the world feels wide and endless, the best spots to watch Sky City glowing above. From Hugo, Alita learns about the unspoken rules of this place. She learns that the city is divided not just by the shadows cast by Sky City, but by power, greed, and fear. Sky City controls everything. Those who live below are nothing more than workers and scavengers, their lives tied to the factories and industries that serve the paradise above. Hugo dreams of escaping. "One day," he says, pointing to the gleaming city in the sky, "I'll make it up there. I don't care how hard I have to work. I'll do whatever it takes." Alita stares up at Sky City, her golden eyes reflecting its light. "What's it like up there?" she asks. Hugo shrugs. "I've never been, but I hear it's perfect. Clean air, no junk, no hunters chasing you around. It's a real life, not this." His voice hardens, and Alita can hear the bitterness beneath his dream. She doesn't know why, but a strange feeling tugs at her when she looks at Sky City. Something about it feels wrong, as if there's a shadow lurking beneath its polished surface. Not everything in the city is filled with light and hope. There is a darkness that runs through its veins, criminals, bounty hunters, and killers who hide in plain sight. One night, Alita walks through the streets alone, the cool night air brushing against her synthetic skin. She hears whispers of fear from the townspeople. A girl has been murdered. The killer is still out there, a shadow in the night, striking without warning. When she returns to Ido's home, she notices something strange. Ido is there, but his hands are stained with blood. Her golden eyes narrow. She says nothing, but the thought lingers in her mind like a thorn. Could he? The next day, Alita meets a woman tall, with sharp eyes, and a face marked by quiet regret. It's Ido's wife, Chirin, though Alita doesn't know that yet. The woman studies her with a strange mix of admiration and sadness. Later, Ido tells Alita the truth. The body she wears, delicate yet strong, once belonged to his daughter. His voice trembles as he explains, "She's gone now. I couldn't save her. But when I found you, When I saw how broken you were, I wanted to give you a second chance. The body, it was hers. I gave it to you." Alita feels a wave of emotion wash over her. Gratitude, sorrow, and something deeper she can't name. She touches her arms as if they suddenly hold a weight she didn't feel before. "I'm sorry," she says softly, her voice trembling. "I didn't know." Ito smiles sadly. "Don't be. She would have wanted this. You remind me of her." Hugo takes Alita to see something extraordinary, a game that the whole city loves. It's fast, brutal, and dangerous, played on high-speed wheels and filled with flashing metal and clashing bodies. Alita watches in awe as players race around the arena, battling for control, their mechanical bodies colliding with sparks. Hugo grins at her excitement. "You like it?" he asks. "I love it," she says, her eyes shining. "Then let's get you in the game," he laughs. Alita's natural agility and strength make her an unstoppable player. When she steps into the arena for the first time, the crowd gasps. She moves like lightning, graceful but fierce, her body a perfect blend of speed and power. By the end of the match, she's won. The cheers echo in her ears, but what makes her happiest is Hugo's proud smile. That night, Hugo leads her to his favorite place, a tall rooftop overlooking the entire city. The lights below flicker like stars, and Sky City glows above them like a second moon. "This," Hugo says, "is my place. Whenever I feel stuck, I come here and just look up. I think about what's waiting for me up there." Alita stands beside him, silent for a moment. "Do you think I came from up there?" she asks suddenly. Hugo looks at her. "Maybe. The doc found you in the garbage, right? All that trash comes from Sky City. Maybe you're one of them, but they threw you away." The thought sends a strange shiver through her. Something about Sky City feels familiar, but her mind is blank. "I don't remember," she whispers. Hugo places a hand on her shoulder. "Doesn't matter where you came from, you're here now. And you're different. Special." Alita meets his gaze, and for a moment, the world feels quiet. The broken city, the floating paradise, they fade away, leaving only this moment and the warmth of someone who believes in her. That night, Ito leaves again. Alita follows him, her suspicion growing. She thinks of the blood on his hands, of the whispers of the killer. Could the man who saved her be hiding a dark secret? She trails him through the dark streets, her senses sharp. Suddenly, they are attacked. A killer emerges from the shadows, his body augmented with cruel, jagged machinery. His eyes gleam with malice as he lunges at Ito. Ito fights back, and in that moment, Alita realizes the truth. He isn't the killer, he's hunting them. Ito is a hunter-warrior, a bounty hunter who hunts criminals and brings their remains to the factory for a reward. It is a brutal job, but someone must do it. When the killer strikes again, Alita jumps into the fight without hesitation. Something awakens inside her. Her body moves with a speed and precision that surprises even her. Every strike, every dodge, feels natural, like she has done this 1,000 times before. She defeats one of the killers, forcing the rest to flee. When the fight is over, Ito looks at her with awe. You're incredible," he says. But Alita isn't thinking of her strength. She's thinking of the strange feeling she had while fighting, like a buried instinct rising to the surface. Who am she? What is she capable of? The next morning, Alita walks through the city with a new sense of purpose. The world around her is dangerous, filled with people who see her as a target, but she is not afraid. There is something inside her, a fire that tells her she was made for this. As she looks at Sky City once more, she whispers to herself, "I will find out who I am." The city breathes differently in the early morning. The air is cool. carrying the metallic tang of the factories and the faint hum of machinery that never sleeps. Alita stands on the balcony outside Ito's workshop, gazing at the sprawling chaos of the streets below. Her golden eyes trace the winding alleys, the flickering lights, the shadows where both dreams and dangers hide. Every time she looks up at Sky City, her chest tightens with an unexplainable ache. She can't remember anything about her past, but deep inside, a quiet voice whispers, "You don't belong here. You were made for something more." After the fight with the serial killer the night before, Alita feels something stirring within her, like a memory, but not quite. Her body remembers movements she doesn't consciously know. When she fought, her limbs reacted with precision, as though every strike was instinctive. "Who am I?" she whispers to a reflection in a pool of rainwater. Ito notices her restlessness. He finds her training in the courtyard, moving through combat patterns she doesn't remember learning. Every punch, every kick, every swift turn of her body is flawless. It frightens him just a little. "You don't need to fight anymore, Alita," Ito says gently. "You're safe here." But she shakes her head. "No, I feel it when I move like this is who I am. I'm not just someone you found. I was made to fight." Ito's eyes soften with sadness. "That's exactly what I'm afraid of." Later that day, Alita returns from the marketplace with Hugo. The young boy always manages to make her laugh, even when the shadows of doubt cling to her. He's quick-witted, teasing her about her serious expressions and telling stories of his plans to reach Sky City. "Everyone down here dreams about getting up there," Hugo says, as they sit on the roof of an abandoned building. "Most people spend their whole lives working, saving every cent, hoping they'll be chosen. But me? I'm not waiting. I'll find a way." Alita studies him quietly. "Would you leave me?" she asks suddenly, the question slipping out before she can stop it. Hugo looks surprised, then smiles softly. "No, not if I can help you. Maybe we'll go together. You'd like it up there, I think. Clean skies, no hunters chasing you, no rusty junk piles." Alita tilts her head, her golden eyes catching the glint of sunlight. "I don't need clean skies," she says softly. "I just want to know who I am." Hugo doesn't answer. Instead, he plucks a tiny flower growing between the cracks of the rooftop and hands it to her. "Then start with this," he says with a grin. "Your name, Alita. It suits you. Fierce, but beautiful." Ito gave it her. It feels like hers. For the first time since awakening, Alita feels like her name isn't just something Ito gave her. It feels like hers. Elsewhere in the city, far from the innocent warmth of Hugo's smile, a man named Vector watches the streets like a predator scanning for prey. Vector is no ordinary man. He is the puppeteer pulling strings behind the scenes, the one who controls the brutal motorball races, the industries, and many of the city's criminal networks. Vector's real goal is power. Every deal he makes, every scheme he weaves is tied to one promise: a ticket to Sky City. It's a promise he uses to manipulate those desperate enough to risk everything. In a dimly lit office, Vector meets with Chirin, Ito's ex-wife. She is brilliant, but hardened by life's cruelty, her once soft heart buried beneath ambition. "You're still working for me, aren't you?" Vector says, with a smile that's all teeth and menace. Chirin nods. "Yes, but I want what you promised. You said you'd get me to Sky City." Vector leans closer. "And I will. But first, I need something. There's a girl, an unusual cyborg, stronger than anything I've seen before. Bring her to me." Chirin's eyes narrow. "A girl?" "Yes," Vector says. "Her name is Alita, and if what I've heard is true, she's dangerous." When Hugo takes Alita to the motorball arena, her curiosity turns to fascination. It's unlike anything she's ever seen, a violent, high-speed race where cyborgs crash, collide, and claw their way to victory. The crowd roars with every strike, their cheers echoing like thunder. Alita's golden eyes widen as she watches the racers zoom past. "What is this?" she asks, her voice breathless. "Motorball," Hugo replies with a grin. "The biggest sport in the city. Win enough games and you can earn a spot in Sky City. That's my ticket out of here." The idea of leaving the world below, the grime, the danger, fills Alita with conflicting feelings. She wants Hugo's dream to come true, but a strange pang of sadness tugs at her when she imagines him leaving her behind. When Hugo turns to her with excitement, "You know, with your speed and strength, you'd be amazing at this, maybe even unstoppable." Alita tilts her head. "You think so?" "I know so," Hugo says with a smirk. Days later, Hugo takes Alita to see something hidden in the ruins outside the city, a massive ancient warship, half buried under centuries of rubble. Its sleek metal surface is scarred from battles long past, but something about it feels alive. Alita steps closer, her fingers brushing against the cold metal. A jolt of recognition surges through her. Images flash in her mind, a battlefield under a blood-red sky, warriors like her fighting against machines. Her chest tightens as the memories slam into her like a tidal wave, only to fade again into a blur. "What is this?" she whispers, her voice trembling. "An old ship," Hugo says, shrugging. "They say it's from the war, the one that nearly destroyed the whole planet 300 years ago." Alita's gaze hardens. Something deep inside her stirs, an unshakable sense of purpose. "I've been here before," she murmurs, though she can't explain why. As they explore the wreck, Alita discovers something incredible, a highly advanced battle body, sleek and powerful, designed for a warrior of unimaginable strength. The moment she lays eyes on it, she knows it's meant for her. When Alita returns to Ido's workshop with the battle body, her excitement is palpable. "This is who I am," she says firmly. "This body, it's mine. Please, Ido, attach me to it." But Ido shakes his head, fear shadowing his face. "No, Alita, that body was made for war. If I give this to you, you'll become something dangerous, something you might not be able to control." "I'm already dangerous," Alita says quietly. "I feel it inside me. This body is part of me. Please." But Ido refuses, his voice firm. "I won't lose you like I lost my daughter. I won't make that mistake again." The argument leaves Alita hurt and angry. For the first time, she feels trapped, not just by her lack of memory, but by Ido's fear. She storms out of the workshop, her heart heavy with frustration. That night, Alita makes a decision. She cannot sit idly by while the city crumbles under the weight of criminals like Vector and his assassins. If Ido won't help her, she will forge her own path. She walks through the streets, the neon lights glinting off her metallic frame. Hugo catches up to her, sensing her turmoil. "What are you doing?" he asks. "I'm becoming a hunter warrior," Alita says, determination burning in her eyes. "If I can't remember who I was, I'll decide who I am now." Alita walks into the Hunter Warriors gathering place, a dim, smoky club filled with the most dangerous cyborgs in the city. Every pair of mechanical eyes turns to her as she steps into the room, her presence both strange and commanding. "I'm here to challenge you," she says boldly. "All of you. You're supposed to protect this city, but you're too busy fighting for scraps while Vector controls everything. That ends now." The crowd laughs. A towering cyborg with metal arms like sledgehammers steps forward, sneering. "You? You're just a scrap girl with a borrowed body. What makes you think you can take us on?" Alita doesn't answer. Instead, she moves, faster than anyone can see. In a blur of motion, she takes down the cyborg with a single strike, slamming him to the floor. The room falls silent. "I'm not afraid of you," she says quietly, her voice like steel. But even as she stands victorious, the doors burst open. A massive cyborg assassin enters, a deadly machine upgraded by Vector Inchurin to destroy Alita. Its body is bristling with weapons, its glowing red eyes locked on her. "You're the one who broke me," the assassin growls. "Now I'll break you." The fight is brutal. The assassin is faster and stronger than anything Alita has faced before. She dodges, strikes, and fights with everything she has, but the machine is relentless. It smashes her into the ground, tearing at her limbs. By the end of the battle, Alita's body is shattered, her once sleek form broken and torn. But even in defeat, her spirit does not falter. As her vision fades, she sees Hugo and Ido rushing towards her, their faces pale with fear. The workshop is quiet, except for the hum of machinery and Ido's ragged breathing. His hands tremble as he examines what remains of Alita's broken body, spread out across the workbench. Her head and chest core are still intact, but the rest of her has been torn apart, her arms ripped, her legs mangled beyond repair. She looks up at him, her golden eyes dim but unwavering. "I'm not afraid to die, Ido," she whispers, her voice weak but steady. "But if I die without knowing who I am, that's worse than death." Ido clenches his jaw, his own heart breaking. "Don't say that. You're not going to die. Not while I still have breath in me." Beside him stands Chirin, silent for once. Even she, who once worked against Alita, cannot ignore the fierce spirit in the girl's eyes. "Ido," Chirin says softly, "you know what you have to do. That body, the one she brought from the ship, it's the only way." Ido hesitates, glancing at the sleek battle body lying in the corner of the workshop, waiting like a sleeping beast. "This body," he mutters, "is built for destruction. It's a weapon, not a home." But Alita smiles faintly. "Maybe I am a weapon, Ido. Maybe I always was. But even weapons can choose what they fight for." Those words cut through Ido's fear like a blade. He sighs, running his hair through his hair. "You're stubborn, just like my daughter." A tear slips down Alita's face, one she didn't know she could shed. "Then trust me, Ido, like you would have trusted her." Ido's shoulders sag in defeat. "All right, let's give you a body worthy of who you really are." For hours, Ido works tirelessly, every motion precise and filled with care. He integrates Alita's neural core into the advanced body from the ancient warship, piece by piece. The battle body is like nothing he's ever seen before, fluid, responsive, and almost alive. It seems to mold itself around Alita's essence, adapting to her as though it's been waiting centuries for her return. When the final connections snap into place, the lights in the workshop flicker. Alita opens her eyes, feeling a surge of energy unlike anything before. She lifts her new hand, marveling at how natural it feels. This body isn't just strong, it's an extension of her very soul. Ido steps back, awe in his gaze. "How do you feel?" Alita takes a deep breath, then clenches her fists. "Like I've been asleep my whole life, and I just woke up." The next day, Alita meets Hugo on the rooftop where they often sit together. The moment Hugo sees her, his jaw drops. Her new body gleams in the sunlight, elegant yet fierce, like a work of art forged for battle. "Whoa," he breathes, stepping closer. "You look incredible." Alita tilts her head with a small smile. "You think so? I mean, you were always amazing, but this is next level. I don't know if I should be impressed or terrified." Alita laughs softly, a sound that feels strange yet beautiful even to her own ears. "Don't be afraid. I'd never hurt you." But in that moment, she feels something deeper between them, something beyond friendship, and it scares her just a little. That night, Hugo opens up to Alita about his dream to reach Sky City. Hugo opens up to Alita about his dream to reach Sky City. He says, "I've spent my whole life looking up there," pointing to the shining fortress in the clouds. "Everything down here feels broken. I just want something better." Alita studies him, her expression soft. What if better isn't up there? What if it's here, with us? Hugo looks away, guilt flickering in his eyes. "I can't stop now. I've done things, Alita. Bad things. It's the only way I know how to make enough credits to buy my way up there." Alita's brow furrows. What things? He doesn't answer, and she doesn't push him. Instead, she does something unexpected. She takes her hand and presses it to her chest. "Then take this," she says quietly. Before Hugo can react, she pulls her own heart from her chest, a glowing core of pure energy, humming with power. Hugo stumbles back in shock. "Alita, what are you doing?" She says simply, "Sell it. It's worth more than anything in this city. Take it and go to Sky City." Hugo's eyes fill with tears as he pushes her hand away. "No! Are you insane? That's your heart. That's you." Alita tilts her head. "It's just a part of me. But you're the part I want to protect." For a moment, neither of them speaks. Then Hugo gently takes her hand, pushing the heart back into her chest. "I don't want to lose you, Alita. Not like this." While Alita and Hugo share this tender moment, Vector is plotting her downfall. In his towering office, he stands beside Shirin, watching the city below like a god surveying his kingdom. "She's become too strong," Vector mutters. "That new body makes her a threat, and I don't like threats." Shirin crosses her arms. "You wanted her because she was powerful. Now you want her destroyed because she's too powerful?" Vector smirks. "I don't care what she is, as long as she doesn't stand in my way." He sends out a call to every hunter warrior in the city. A bounty is placed on Alita's head, 5 million credits to anyone who kills her during the next Motorball trial. "They'll tear her apart," Vector says, his voice dripping with confidence. "And when she's gone, the path to Sky City will belong to me alone." When Alita learns about the bounty, she doesn't flinch. Instead, she walks into Ido's workshop and says, "Sign me up for Motorball." Ido spins around, shocked. "Are you out of your mind? Motorball isn't just a sport, it's a death trap. Vector will send every killer in the city after you." "Then let them come," Alita says, her golden eyes blazing. "I'm not running anymore. If I win, I'll prove I'm more than just a broken machine." Ido sighs heavily. "You're too much like my daughter," he mutters under his breath. In the days leading up to the race, Alita trains relentlessly. The Motorball track is unlike any battlefield she's ever known, a twisting labyrinth of speed, steel, and chaos. But she adapts quickly, her new body responding as though it was made for this. Hugo watches from the sidelines, worry etched into his face. "Are you sure about this? It's not just a game, Alita. People die out there." Alita smiles softly. "Then I'll just have to be faster." Vector's plan is simple but deadly. Every racer in the upcoming Motorball trial has been paid to kill Alita. The arena will become a slaughterhouse, and the crowd will cheer, oblivious to the fact that they're watching an assassination unfold. As the day of the race arrives, the city is alive with anticipation. The streets buzz with excitement, vendors shouting, fans waving banners, the sound of clanking gears filling the air. But behind the cheers lurks danger, a trap designed for Alita alone. The night before the race, Alita and Hugo sit together under the stars. The silence between them is heavy, filled with unspoken fears. "If something happens to me tomorrow," Alita begins. "Don't say that," Hugo interrupts sharply. "You'll win. I know you will." Alita looks at him, her eyes shimmering like molten gold. "I don't fight for victory, Hugo. I fight for you, for us. Whatever I was before, it doesn't matter. What matters is what I choose to be now." Hugo swallows hard, his throat tight with emotion. He reaches out and takes her hand, gripping it as though he never wants to let go. "Then promise me you'll come back, no matter what." Alita squeezes his hand in return. "I promise." The day of the Motorball trial dawns with the fiery glare of the rising sun bleeding across Iron City. The streets are alive with chatter, and the air is electric with anticipation. From the highest balconies to the dirtiest alleys, people gather around old screens and hollow projectors, eager to witness the violent spectacle. To them, Motorball is not just a sport, it's the heartbeat of their lives, a symbol of freedom, wealth, and power. But for Alita, this race is more than a game. It is war. The Motorball arena looms like a steel coliseum, its labyrinthine track filled with deadly traps, sharp curves, and spinning blades designed to test the limits of every racer. The crowd roars as the gates open, their chants echoing like thunder across the city. Alita stands at the starting line, dressed in her battle-ready armor, her golden eyes scanning the competitors around her. She knows they aren't just racers, they're assassins hired by Vector to end her life before the crowd even understands what's happening. Each competitor looks like a beast forged from metal and fury. Razor-bladed wheels, spiked gauntlets, titanium claws, and bodies enhanced with every illegal modification imaginable. They glare at her with cold eyes, already sizing up their prey. She breathes deeply, her fingers brushing the cool metal of her skates. "I'm not afraid," she reminds herself. "I'm not a girl. I'm not a machine. I'm a warrior." The countdown begins. 3. Her body hums with energy, her senses heightened, every muscle ready to spring into motion. 2. The roar of engines fills the arena, deafening and relentless. The competitors rev their blades and sharpen their weapons, hungry for blood. 1. Alita locks eyes with Vector's viewing box high above, where he sits like a king watching gladiators die for sport. She imagines his smirk, his confidence that she will fall. Go! The racers launch forward like bullets, and the track becomes chaos. Immediately, the first assassin lunges for her with a spiked chain, swinging it like a whip. Alita ducks, the chain slicing the air above her head, and counters with a powerful kick to his wheel. The racer crashes into the steel barricade with a violent crunch, sparks flying as the crowd screams in delight. Another racer, a massive brute with rotating saw blades for arms, charges from behind. Alita spins, her reflexes flawless, and leaps over him, landing on his back before slamming a blade into his gears. His machine sputters and crashes, metal screeching like a dying animal. But there are too many. One after another they come for her. Blades, chains, knives, and spiked wheels all aimed to tear her apart. The track becomes a killing field, drenched in fire and metal shrapnel. Still, she fights. Every movement is a dance of precision and grace. Her battle body moves with an almost supernatural fluidity. She flips, slides, and strikes with deadly accuracy, taking down racers one by one while the crowd roars her name. "Alita! Alita!" they chant as though she were a goddess descending into battle. Midway through the chaos, as Alita races down a steep curve dodging spinning blades, her comlink buzzes. Hugo's voice bursts through, frantic. "Alita, it's the Pan. He's after me." Hugo's breath is ragged, panicked. "He set me up. I'm being framed for murder. I'm wanted, and they'll kill me." Alita's heart pounds harder than it ever has. She swerves, narrowly avoiding a blade aimed for her throat. "Where are you?" she shouts. "Near the factory district. Alita, I can't—" His voice cuts out with static. Alita grits her teeth. She could win this race. She could take the prize, maybe even climb closer to Sky City. But Hugo's voice is still ringing in her ears, trembling with fear. With a sharp breath, she makes her choice. Alita veers off the main track, ignoring the racers behind her. Some jeer, thinking she's fleeing. Others give chase, eager to claim Vector's bounty. The crowd erupts in confusion as they see her leave the arena mid-race. "What is she doing?" shouts a commentator over the city broadcast. "She's abandoning the trial." But Alita doesn't care. She's not racing for glory. She's racing for Hugo. Every turn of her wheels, every leap and dodge is fueled by a single thought: save him. She arrives in the dark industrial sector where rust and shadow swallow the streets. It doesn't take long to find Hugo. He's cornered in an alley, surrounded by Zapan and his gang of enforcers. Zapan's face twists into a cruel grin when he sees her. "Well, well," he sneers, "the famous Alita, coming to save her little boyfriend." Alita's hands tighten into fists. "Let him go, Zapan." He laughs, his voice dripping with mockery. What, you'll kill me too? Maybe I'll take your pretty head back to Vector. He's paying well for it." Alita steps forward, her golden eyes blazing with fury. "Try me."
The alley explodes into chaos. Zapan attacks with his electrified blade, swinging it with lethal precision. Alita ducks and weaves, her new body reacting faster than she can think, sparks flying each time their weapons clash. But Zapan is strong, stronger than before. Vector has upgraded him, and every strike feels like being hit by a hammer. Still, Alita doesn't falter. Her determination to protect Hugo fuels her every move. She lands a devastating blow to Zapan's side, sending him crashing into a wall. "This is your only warning," she growls. "Stay away from him." Zapan wipes blood from his mouth, his grin unfaltering. "You think you can save him? Hugo's already dead. He just doesn't know it yet." Hugo grabs Alita's arm, his face pale with fear. "We have to go. The city police, they think I killed someone. They're coming for me." As if on cue, alarms blare in the distance. The heavy stomp of security drones echoes down the streets. Hugo stumbles, nearly falling, but Alita pulls him along with ease, her grip strong and reassuring. "Stay with me," she shouts. But there's no escaping the entire city. Within minutes, they're surrounded. Drones above, enforcers below, all aiming their weapons. A booming voice echoes through the loudspeakers. "Hugo, you are accused of murder and sabotage. Surrender now or be terminated." Hugo's breath hitches. He looks at Alita, tears brimming in his eyes. "I didn't mean for this to happen. I just wanted a better life." Alita looks at him, her expression fierce yet soft. "Then we'll make a better life, together. But you have to trust me." Before Hugo can respond, Zapan strikes again, appearing from the shadows like a vengeful phantom. He slashes at Hugo, aiming to finish what he started. "No!" Alita screams, throwing herself between them. She takes the hit across her arm, the blade sparking against her alloy skin. The impact sends her reeling, but she retaliates with a force that shakes the ground. Her blade slices through Zapan's weapon, shattering it into fragments. Zapan snarls, but he's outmatched. With one final strike, Alita sends him sprawling. "Stay down," she growls, her voice like thunder. As the drones close in, Hugo's despair deepens. "Alita, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep running." She grabs his face, forcing him to look into her eyes. "Then we'll stop running, but I won't let them take you. Do you understand me? I won't." Tears spill down his cheeks. "Why do you care so much about me?" Alita's voice cracks, her own emotions threatening to break through. "Because you're the first person who made me feel human." Suddenly, a blast from a drone strikes nearby, the force knocking them both backward. Alita scrambles to shield Hugo, but he's already wounded, his side seared by the blast, blood soaking his shirt. "Hugo!" she cries, her voice breaking. "Stay with me." He grits his teeth, his breaths shallow. "Alita, don't cry." Her hands tremble as she tries to stop the bleeding, her mind racing. She can't lose him, not like this, not now.
Alita cradled Hugo in her arms, kneeling amidst the smoke and wreckage. His blood smeared across her armor, thick and bright against the cold metal. His breaths came in jagged shudders, and every second felt like it slipped him closer to death. No, she whispered, pressing her hand to his wound. "You're not dying. I won't let you die, Hugo." His eyes fluttered open, glassy and unfocused. "Alita, I'm scared." Her heart fractured. She brushed the hair from his face, her fingers trembling. "I've got you," she choked. "You're safe. I'm here." Then came a voice filled with determination and quiet urgency. "We need to move." It was Dr. Ito arriving just in time with Chirin, his former wife. Together, they pulled Hugo onto a stretcher-like board carried by Ito's hovering skiff. Blood smeared across the smooth chrome as they hurried him back toward the clinic. "We don't have long," Chirin warned. "We have to stabilize his brain and replace his failing body, now." Alita followed close behind, her eyes never leaving Hugo's pale face. Her soul burned with pain, but beneath it boiled something hotter: rage. Back in Ito's clinic, the two doctors worked fast. So fast, it blurred the line between medicine and miracles. Hugo was slipping, his pulse erratic. His blood pressure crashed once, twice. "Prep the cybernetic cradle," Ito barked. Chirin nodded, activating the transformation pod that would allow them to separate Hugo's living head from his ruined body. It was unthinkable under normal circumstances, but this wasn't normal. "He'll die otherwise," Chirin said solemnly. "His spine is severed, his heart's failing. This is the only way." Alita stood motionless, watching the chaos unfold. Her hands were clenched so tightly that her synthetic skin cracked at the knuckles. "We can rebuild him," Ito said, turning to her. "If we use the same tech we used on you, he can survive." She swallowed hard, her voice shaking. "Do it?" Hours passed. Time blurred. Alita sat silently in the hallway, her back against the wall, her eyes red-rimmed but dry. She refused to cry. Not now. Then the door opened. Ito stepped out, his face streaked with sweat, but a faint, exhausted smile pulling at his lips. He made it. Alita gasped. Her knees nearly gave out as she stood. "He's alive?" "His mind is intact," Chirin added from behind. "We built him a new body, strong, fast, like yours. He'll need time to adjust, but he's alive." The flood of emotion was instant. Relief slammed into Alita's chest, her knees buckling, her breath hitching. She staggered forward and entered the room. Hugo lay in a glass recovery chamber, unconscious, but his new body was already adapting. It was sleek, silver like hers, with internal heat coils and advanced kinetic fiber. He was still Hugo. Still her Hugo. "I will protect you," she whispered, resting a hand on the glass. "From now on, I'll protect you no matter what." Later, in the quiet of the recovery suite, Ito told her the truth he had hidden even from himself. Zalem doesn't let people in. The dream we all chase, the fantasy of going up, it's a lie. Alita stared at him, silent. Vector never sends anyone up. It's all a con. He takes people's dreams, their money, their souls, and when he's done with them, he discards them like trash. Chiron nodded slowly. I helped him do it, she admitted, shame in her voice. I believed I could buy my way back to Zalem, but it was a lie. No one ever goes to Zalem. Alita's stomach turned. Then who runs it? Ito's voice dropped low. Nova. The name was like poison. Nova sees everything, Ito whispered. He controls Zalem, and through Vector, he controls Iron City. Alita stood, her golden eyes hardening like steel. Then I'll destroy them both. Night fell, but Alita's fury was bright as daylight. She made her way to the factory, Vector's stronghold, cutting through the streets with unrelenting speed. Word of her actions spread like wildfire. By the time she arrived at the gates, alarms blared and security mechs rolled out. Vector's goons lined up, guns raised, blades drawn. Alita didn't slow down. She exploded into the courtyard like a meteor. Her new body moved with godlike speed, dodging bullets, dismantling mech after mech with fluid, merciless precision. Blades spun from her arms, plasma blasts fired from her palms. The guards fell like dominoes. She kicked down Vector's door. Vector stood calmly inside his office, flanked by two enormous cybernetic enforcers. The glow from the window behind him framed his face in a halo of blue light, but there was no kindness in it, only arrogance. I've been expecting you, he said coolly. I used Hugo. You sold dreams that never came true, and you hurt the people I love. Vector's grin widened. I offered a chance at salvation. It's not my fault they were too weak to reach it.
I offered hope, and they begged me for it. Who's really at fault here? Alita moved so fast the enforcers barely registered before her blade severed their limbs and buried itself in Vector's desk. She grabbed Vector by the collar and slammed him against the wall. You don't get to talk anymore. Then his voice changed. From Vector's mouth came a deeper, otherworldly tone. His eyes turned white. A different mind, Nova's, was looking through him. Alita. Nova's voice slithered through Vector's lips. I see you've become quite a problem. Alita's blood ran cold. Nova. You were always too persistent, he said, smiling through Vector. Too emotional. That's what makes you weak. I'm not weak, Alita snarled. I remember now. I know who I am. Nova's grin only widened. Then come for me. You'll never make it up here, but I'd love to watch you try. With one final swing, Alita ended Vector's life. His body collapsed, and Nova's connection snapped. Back at the clinic, Hugo had awakened. Restless and driven, he had already made a decision. In his mind, Zalem still represented something pure, a dream that Alita had tried to protect. So he climbed. Using the massive support tubes that connected Zalem to Iron City, he began his journey upward. His new robotic body carried him quickly, higher and higher, toward the floating city that hung like a god above the sky. Alita sensed it. She raced toward the support tower, wind tearing at her skin. She could see him, Hugo, scaling the tubes like a desperate spark chasing a dream that was never real. Hugo! She screamed from below. Stop, please! He turned, tears streaking his face. I have to see it, Alita. I have to know. No, she cried. It's a lie. There's nothing up there. Then, far above, Nova acted. A massive spinning blade detached from Zalem's underside and plunged down toward Hugo like divine punishment. No! Alita launched herself upward, climbing with every ounce of strength. She reached Hugo just as the blade struck. He screamed. His body was torn, shredded. Only his head and a single arm remained. Alita caught him. Dangling from the support cable, her hands bleeding from the pressure, she held on to the only part of Hugo she could still save. But gravity won. Her fingers slipped. He fell, and Alita screamed. Later, in the silence of the clinic, Alita stood in front of a mirror, her sword at her back. She no longer wept. The tears had dried. The pain had forged into resolve. She wore the champion's mark, winner of the motorball trial. It meant she had earned the right to ascend to Zalem. And she would. Not to chase dreams, but to destroy nightmares. With one final look at Hugo's memory chip, his smile still preserved in flickering blue light, she whispered, "I'll make this right for you, for all of us." The camera soars upward. Zalem glows like a jewel in the clouds, untouchable. But on the ground, standing atop the Colosseum platform, Alita raises her blade, pointing it skyward. Her voice, carried on the wind, is clear and furious. "I'm coming for you, Nova. I will avenge Hugo. I will avenge all of them." The clouds swirl above her. The winds scream. And the screen fades to black. The end.